Hello everyone, it's Lau, and today we're going to talk about episode 29 from Healing Good PreCure. We're dealing with the scraps of battle after the intense episode 28, and now we're obviously seeing the consequences of what Nodoka went through. So right at the start of the episode, we see that Nodoka is waking up earlier than usual. She is running to school. She is doing everything she can to boost her stamina because she had health problems before. And we learned last episode that her health problems were actually created by the Byogans themselves. And also right at the start of the episode, we get introduced to a girl that's very important to this episode, which was playing the trumpet while watching Nodoka run. So she was an intrinsic part of this episode, and I believe they worked very well with her character and were able to tie her up very well to the whole Nodoka theme of this episode, which was very interesting. But, I can't go on without talking about one of the best scenes of this episode, Guaiaru cooking. Maid Guaiaru was cooking and he was making some experiments. This is not the first time. Guaiaru is always experimenting stuff. I love that. And he was experimenting on cooking. He was adding spice, he was adding pepper to his cuisine. I have no idea what he was trying to do, but he noticed that the more he added spice, the more spicy it became. And for him, that was a big realization. He was shocked with that info. And I love those sprouts of lava in the background while he was feeling the spice. That was very nice. And obviously he was doing that because he wanted to create stronger Byogans by infecting them with more and more and more mega parts. Actually, I said this quite a few times here on the channel. I thought that this was going to be used in their Power Up episode. This is just a regular Byogan, just a little stronger. But for Cure Earth, everything is the same. So when the episode starts, we have like two different scenarios in this episode. We have the girls at school, and we also have Asumi and the healing animals. With Asumi and the healing animals, we had a scene right at the start with kind of a remembrance of what happened last episode with Daruizen and Nodoka, and the Byogans, the healing animals were talking about that. When they were, I felt that those flashbacks, they weren't really needed because we've already seen that episode last week. But then I was thinking that PreCure is usually done by people that watch it on television. So if you missed last episode, those people really need to know what happened. Those people really need to understand what is going on in this series. This last episode wasn't really an episode that you could miss, because if not, you won't really understand the progression of the story of Healing Good. So it makes sense, even though, like, for me that watches on the internet, so even if I miss the time frame, I can watch it later on Crunchy. It's not the best thing, but I understand the needing. But I do understand why it needs to be there. And so the healing animals were talking and trying to understand how Nodoka was feeling. Each one of them had different ways of feeling it. If that happened with Peggy, for example, Peggy would feel very sad. If it happened with Nyatora was just cheering up. He was just, giving everything he could to beat Daruizen. Different reactions for different personalities. I liked that. But then we had Latte saying that she wanted to cheer up Nodoka, and that triggered Asumi's reaction. Because Asumi barely reacts by herself. She needs something around her for her to react, and obviously everything Latte says, it's law for her, so that is what really made her want to help Nodoka even more. And so she was, looking around to see how she could do that, and she took advice from the healing animals and tried to understand how each of the girls dealt with their problems. Chiu goes to the sea and she screams at the sea. I loved that scene so much. One, because I love Chiu and I love the way they work and they deal and develop her in Healing Good. It's very, very, very nice. Best character from Healing Good, definitely. And, she was screaming that she wanted to see Peggy rap. Not really that she actually wanted to see that, I think, but it was just a way for her to vent, for her to feel better, and for her to, throw her frustrations to the world and go on about her day. And Peggy took that so seriously, but obviously he didn't really understand correctly, and he thought about rap, and so he was rapping lots of stuff, and he was super good at rapping stuff. Oh my god, that was so incredible. Oh damn. And then we saw Asumi rapping. Girl, you're definitely not a rapper. Sorry about that, but Tete Moda is still the #1 MC from Healing Good PreCure. Girl, that career is not for you. And we had Hinata as well. We had Nyaturan explaining what Hinata does, and Hinata does lots of different things. Because of that, Asumi started to feel a little overwhelmed with so much that she does. And after those two scenes, Rabin said something very interesting. We need to look at what Nodoka would do. And so not really on the girls, because they're different people. So let's go for different ways of trying to help her. And then we had the scene at school, and the girls were actually noticing that Nodoka was a little tired, that Nodoka was not being really herself. Then we had a little interaction with the Blend Club president, and the Blend Club president was a very strict person with Hinata. Hinata was a little wow. And that was an important plot point for this episode later on, because we got to know that girl that was trying to practice a lot because she had a cold and she couldn't practice, so she lost a lot of practice she needed to. She wanted to get better desperately to not hinder her whole club. Also in the school, Nodoka was trying to eat as much as she could because she knows that eating is good for your health, but obviously Nodoka is trying to do everything she can, and she's trying to rush things so that she could become better quickly. And you know, things don't really work like that, especially with health. It's like a battle, it's like a hill that you have to climb slowly for you to get your health back. It's difficult, but you know, it's not an easy path. And obviously Nodoka is pre-teen, she's very young, she doesn't know that, and she is working with that in her own way. And then when the girls meet, the monster attacks. Before the monster attacked, we see a little scene of the two band club members practicing. The girl that we've been following this episode and the president of the club. That was a very sweet scene because the president is a very harsh person, but when he was practicing with her, he could really understand her side. He could really understand that she was sick and she couldn't practice. I really liked that scene. It was very cute. And then the girls started fighting, which was obviously the worst part of this episode. First, Guaido created a monster and he powered it up with lots of mega parts. And even if he used like tons and tons of mega parts, the monster didn't really seem to be stronger than the other ones that were infused with one mega part only. It was just a regular one that was quickly defeated by Cure Earth. But obviously, again, Healing Good has good ideas, but it doesn't know how to write those good ideas. You know, the path to those good ideas are sometimes very bad. And it happened in this episode. Right at the start of the fight, Cure Fontaine turns to Cure Earth and says, "Go help the people, we'll fight the monster." First, no one was really being attacked by that monster. And second, the girls know they aren't as strong as Cure Earth. So they know that they can't battle as well as Cure Earth. And why? Why Cure Earth? Oh my god. Why didn't the three of them go and Cure Earth stay to fight the monster? That would be easily solved. And the girls know that. But no. We needed to have a scene with Cure Earth and Cure Grace. We needed to have that moment because Cure Earth had the realization, so we needed to have a moment of Cure Earth saving Cure Grace. Obviously, it wasn't like the path to that was not well written, and you know, this fight was really awful. Obviously, the girls underpowered. We had the fire bottle being used. We had the leaf bottle being used. The leaf bottle just, you know, sprouting a pink beam. Come on, Healing Good. And obviously the girls were beaten very quickly and they couldn't do anything as they regularly can't against monsters like that. And when Cure Earth came, she just saved them, and she had her moment with Cure Grace by saying that Cure Grace's relation is basically what happened to the girl with the cold. The girl with the cold had a cold, she stayed at home for a while, she couldn't practice, and now she was blaming herself for what happened and for her lack of ability. And so she was worried about the whole performance of the band club. And Nodoka was doing the same with Daruizen. She feels like Daruizen is her own responsibility because he was born from her. But that was not her will. That was not her choice. It's a disease she had. It invaded her body, like all the diseases we have as humans. So it was not her fault. And Pure Earth was the one that had that realization, and she had to be the one to tell that to Nodoka, to tell that to Pure Grace, and that's what happened. And obviously Pure Earth defeated the monster very quickly, and the girls were able to go on with their day. The sound bottle is now here. We have all the bottles. Nice. What is going to happen next? Another thing that was very nice was the fact that the girls saw the desperation in Nodoka, and now they're going to help her too. You know, they're friends. Nodoka can rely on them. Chiu is helping her do a little time frame for her to run. Asumi is running with her. All the girls are really supporting Nodoka in this new life that she wants to have, this healthy life that she wants to have. And that was cute. You know, I really like the relationship between them, and I really understand Nodoka's way of dealing with this, you know, blaming herself. Obviously, it doesn't make sense objectively, but subjectively, it's very hard for you not to blame yourself when things like that happen. And I really feel Nodoka there. Next week, the girls are going to go to the zoo for the first time. Asumi is going to find that a very wonderful place. And something very strange happened in that preview. What is going to happen? Now, I'm curious. Anyways, that was my view on episode 29. I want to take this little time to thank all of the members of the Magical Cinema channel. Thank you so much for supporting me and believing in the channel and in what I do. And if you've watched everything up until now, thank you very much as well. Please leave a comment with your takes and opinions on episode 29, and let's keep talking in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Bye bye!